I'm not sure what you would call that.
That's a sleigh thing.
The one where the other dude is sitting in the chair on.
You know, this right here?
That part.
Oh, I was picturing that as a truck, but
Oh,
sure.
okay.
I was gonna go, T for truck for the
Okay,
subscript.
well, let's do that because sleigh and sled is weird.
Alright, so weight of truck,
Okay.
weight of truck, and just recognize on the test, there's a paragraph explaining what's going on in the situation.
Would the chair be pulling down? The chair would be pulling down
On what?
on the, truck. No, cause that's not. It would be pulling down on the ground, up on the ground, the ground would be pulling down on that.
So up on the ground and down on the chair.
It would be going like this.
Alright, so I have weight of chair, weight of chair.
Yes, yes, I understand.
At least 3 more gravitational pairs.
Okay, so it's the same thing with the dude on the sled, the child. The little boy.
Weight of boy. Weight of boy.
And then the weight of the other person.
Weight of dad. Weight of dad.
And then it's the same thing with the box. Weight of
And then this box thing on the
Yeah.
truck.
boy and then dad.
Weight of X for box.
Extra box. Okay.
That's all of the gravitational.
Alright, what about the rope?
We need tension going towards,
No, what about the weight of the rope?
it's ideal.
Okay, so we are done with that. Alright,
Yes.
since you mentioned tension, what about tension?
So tension is going towards, so the boy is holding the rope, not the sled.
The sled's attached to the rope is attached to the sled.
Okay, then the sled will be going like this, and then the rope will be going like this in tension.
Can you put that into words so I know how to say it? You know what I mean?
The rope is pulling up and to the right on the sled.
Okay.
The sled therefore must be pulling down and to the left on the rope.
Oh, thank you.
And then on the other side of the rope, you have the open box, I guess,
Okay, yeah.
whatever it is.
Only one rope, I got a pair at each end. Tension is done.
Okay. Now the
Let's go green. Alright, normal.
Okay, so the truck is like this on the box, and the box is like this on the truck.
Alright, so up on the box, so normal, and then normal. Okay,
Ooh.
The chair would be pulling, okay, so chair goes up, and then the arrow on the chair goes up for normal force, and then the truck arrow is going down for normal force. Thank you.
okay.
And then it's the same thing for the sled on the ground.
So up on the sled,
Mm-hmm.
down on the ground.
And then the same thing for the child on the sled.
Up on the boy, down on the boy, or down on the sled. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wait. And then,
With the guy with the dad on the chair.
Okay, guy in chair. So I've got Y sub dad, Y sub dad.
I think
got at least one more pair.
Truck on the ground.
Yep. All right, now the truck is touching it in my drawing in two places,
Wheels.
but most trucks have at least four wheels. Most vehicles have it, it's not a motorcycle. So how many up arrows do I draw?
4.
I kind of agree.
Everyone good with Maram's answer?
Wait.
I'd rather not, but I agree with her.
Yeah, because it's 4. You're saying since it's a 4-wheeler, so it's 4 wheels that's touching the ground, so we need 4 arrows.
If it were front wheel drive, it's still four wheels touching the ground, so.
Oh, sorry, I was back.
You know what I mean?
All right, and if you drew 4 arrows, depending upon how it's distributed, the normal force is not necessarily the same on all of them. However, for the sake of this, suppose it's a dually and it's got 6 wheels. Do I draw 6 arrows? If I made it a semi, am I drawing 18 arrows up? I mean,
Can we just count them all as truck?
we can count them all as, yeah, just one.
Yeah.
If you did 4 or 2 or something other than one normal force acting up on the truck, I would circle it and count it as one thing.
Okay, so no points.
So normal force up on truck and down on the ground. All right, so they're touching, got that, they're touching, they're touching, they're touching, they're touching, they're touching. That touch is put into tension. All right? And now friction.
The truck is trying to go that way, so friction is working this way.
Let's do that one last.
Okay. The
Let's
sled
do-
is
Because we have to think about acceleration.
Like if it was.
The sled wants to go this way, and so the ground is moving this way.
So which way is friction acting on the sled?
This way.
That one, okay. For my stunning multi-color
Okay, well,
display, there we go. Ooh. So I have friction on the sled this way, and then friction on the ground this
I
way.
feel so sad. Is the road frictionless? Is the road frictionless?
It is ideal.
Yes, because it's an ideal road.
But it's not rubbing against anything, so we wouldn't have to worry about friction there anyway.
With friction.
All right, so that, I think we've got, that's a simple one.
Okay, no, the boy on the sled is next.
So one way of thinking about it is, if it were frictionless, if between the boy and the sled were frictionless, what would the boy do?
Just fall
Which side?
off, behind the sled as the sled's being pulled forward.
because inertia would hold him still.
Okay. Therefore, which way would friction act on the boy?
So if you do it that way, friction will go this way.
Yes.
Because I spent it this all.
Yeah.
So friction on boy, friction from boy.
Friction from you.
It's supposed to be a D.
So what is from there? This way.
Another way of looking at this, because there are a number of people who say, well, the boy's moving to the right, so friction's acting to the left, which is incorrect. If the boy's accelerating to the right, there has to be some force in that direction. And if friction's not acting in that direction, what would it be? So this is why the word relative shows up and it imposes desired relative motion. Because relative to the sled, the boy wants to go back. And the sled says, no, not on my watch. I'm gonna keep you with me.
And you're moving.
All right, next. Oh, we actually, there is a normal force that we left off.
What?
Pardon?
It's like you're gonna tell us the. Is it the road?
No, it is not the rope.
We did the box, we did the chair, we did the man.
And the man's back is deliberately not on the back of the chair.
Oh, yeah. Is it that, what? Is it that stupid little
Is it the thing he's holding?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
The what?
He's holding that, dude.
Oh, yeah, so he's also attached.
He is
to the car.
pulling
Oh,
straight,
he's touching.
he's got his,
Which?
so acceleration stick and he is pulling back straight towards himself.
So the dad's supposed to sit in the chair and this is not technically the car.
So which way, let's get back to green. Which way is the normal force acting on, let's say the stick?
Okay, so he's pulling this towards him.
This, wait, I lied.
So he's pulling the car this way, or the truck this way, and the truck's pulling him that way.
Stick is moving this way. The normal force, guys. The normal force is moving this way, right?
On,
On the stick.
he's pulling it towards him.
Exactly, so that means.
So as,
I think it's going like
Same
this
orient.
towards the man and this towards the car.
alright, so we got. There. He's pulling it straight towards him.
Yeah.
So which way is the normal force applying to the stick?
Towards.
In opposite directions.
In opposite to something.
Each end is in opposite directions.
Okay, so it's not this way. That is not the direction of the normal force. What does normal mean?
Oh, I don't remember. Perpendicular.
Yes, so if he's pulling, taking the stick and he's coming straight back towards him, where's the perpendicular if that's the direction of the normal force?
Okay, so it's going that way.
Where's the perpendicular there either? Then, Stephanie?
Stephanie?
Yeah. Were you pointing
I just said like,
up and down?
yeah,
Perpendicular to,
the way you're pulling it.
it's supposed to be perpendicular to the surfaces of contact.
Oh,
What would be perpendicular to the surface of contact?
it's too early for this.
It's like you're doing those or something with the hand version. Alright, I'm like this and I'm bringing my hand straight back towards me,
Okay.
Perpendicular to that would be this way, right?
that way.
Oh. I feel like
The normal force he is applying to the stick
Okay.
is this way.
Oh.
Why sub
I
Q.
felt like that's what I was trying.
Because, why not?
That was the only question I was saying.
I'm using S for something else.
Why not Y sub W for wheel?
I'm good with that.
Y sub what? Y sub W?
Yeah, Y sub wheel.
I'm good with that.
And which way would the normal force be acting on his hand?
This was. It's literally what I'm trying to say. Where did he even put it? Oh, it's nice.
Okay, so we've got that, we have that normal force. All right, so we had frictions over here, we were talking friction. All right, two things. One, in order for there to be friction, there has to be a normal force. If there's a normal force, there's not necessarily friction as we've done before, like box on ground. But if there is a friction, there has to be a normal force. So we can look wherever there's a normal force pair and go, huh, is there friction here? And the other one is, no, that's probably it for now. So, we've taken care of those two normal force pairs. We've got one, two, three, 4 more to go.
Yeah. 4 more more. So on the box, isn't the box going that way? Yeah.
Would the chair that the dad's sitting on be going this way because then our wants to float this way?
Yeah. All right, so I got friction acting this way on the chair
And
Friction's acting.
and that way on the trunk.
chair.
What about the box behind Dad?
Alright. Seems like you two were discussing the box.
Oh, yeah, we were saying the box one is this way and stuff.
That way on the box?
Mm-hmm.
No, because inertia also wants to pull it that way. So it has to go this way because inertia wants it that way.
If it were frictionless, which way would the box go? So X and then X.
Have we done the Dad yet?
We have not.
Okay. Friction would also be pulling him in the way of the chair.
To the right.
Yeah.
Alright, this comes down to a question. If I did this on a test, at this point, I think I usually catch it, and there'd be some sentence in the opening paragraph which would explain which way friction would go. If he is pulling hard enough on that stick, it is possible that he would actually scooch himself forward. I mean, if you're on the steering wheel, it is possible while you're driving to pull hard enough for you to scooch forward on the chair, even if you're speeding up in the direction you're going, or ahead. So the intent was that there would be, as Robin said, same way as with the chair. However, given the scant information on something like this, at some point, I'd go into the grading it and I'd have in my own mind, oh, it's obviously friction's going this way and this way. And then at some point I go, ooh, wait a second, that's not right. It could go either way. Because I didn't explain why it would have to be one way or the other. So then I'd go back and I'd do a bunch of more scratching out of any comments I made. And then accept either way.
So what you're saying is if they're scratched out, comments disregard those.
Yes.
Okay.
The truck wheels in the ground,
Yes.
would we have to do it for each wheel?
No, just one.
Okay.
That's why I made it 4-wheel drive.
What exactly is 4-wheel drive?
That the engine is trying to rotate all 4 wheels.
Okay.
As opposed to front-wheel drive, where the front 2 wheels would be, the engine is trying to turn, the back 2 wheels are just turning because they're on the ground.
So 2-wheel drive front are the steering and pushing.
The front-wheel drive, there's also rear-wheel drive.
Oh.
It just tells you which one the car is trying to actually turn.
Okay. So
So if this were on ice, all 4 wheels would spin. If it were front-wheel drive and you were on a frictionless surface, let's do it that way, frictionless surface, front-wheel drive, just the front wheels would spin. If you put your foot down on the gas pedal, the back wheels would just sit there. Rear-wheel drive on ice or slippery surface, the back wheels would spin, the front-wheel drive would just sit there.
On like a test, can we use like different colored pens and pencils?
Yes. That's perfectly fine. And this is mostly gray and gray, but we do have colored pencils in the other room, so if you want colored pencils, don't have any, then just ask and I'll go grab them.
if you don't use the full page each time, it's not big enough.
So which way is the friction acting on the,
The truck is trying to go that way, so friction is acting this way.
then what force is acting in the direction of acceleration? But what's wrong with Robin's analysis that the truck wants to go that way, so therefore friction must act that way?
Because that also has inertia.
Look,
In this
Well-
case, it has no inertia. Is that what you're saying?
oh, no, anything with mass has inertia. What is actually, think about what's actually in contact with the ground, where the friction is.
The wheels.
Wheels?
And which way is the wheel trying to spin?
This way.
Because the wheel, if I want to go this way, the wheel's gonna spin like this.
Yeah.
So when
So,
it,
so at the point of contact down here, the wheel wants to go that way, and friction says, no. friction is acting this way.
Okay.
We'll make it more complicated in just a moment. Similar to walking. When I walk, what accelerates me forward?
Momentum.
If I have no momentum, if I'm starting at rest, how can I walk in that direction? There's gotta be some force accelerating me
Friction.
that way. But if I'm going this way, how is friction acting in that direction?
Because your feet are rolling backwards.
Yes, when you walk, you're pushing backwards with the, whatever foot's back here. Now, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but in essence, I get started because I'm pushing back with my foot. I sort of fall forward and catch myself. But my back foot is pushing away from me. It's pushing backwards. The ground says, no, I'm gonna push it this way. Now, the complication in walking is that when my front foot lands, friction is acting, well, my front foot wants to go that way. So friction is acting this way on this foot, that way on the back foot. I get to this point, friction's barely acting on my back foot. If I'm right over, if my center of mass is right over my left foot, then I'm more coordinated than I have been. Then there's no friction acting on it. And then as soon as my center of mass pivots to in front of this foot is now pushing backwards, so friction is acting this way on the back foot, on this foot. So friction is going to be basically back and forth as your feet change which one's back, which one's front. Questions on this so far before we hit our last friction pair?
Hit what?
You have another one?
We have one more friction pair.
Yeah.
Is it the wheel?
Yes. So, as he's pulling on the stick towards him, towards himself, normal force is that way.